And as a thank you to all my viewers and subscribers, Mass Damper is now offering a 10% discount. If you want to get cool shirts like this one, or other mini four-wheel drive swag like stickers for your car, or stickers for your toolboxes, you can get them from MassDamper.JP. Don't forget to use the discount code ZenBluster on checkout. There are also links in the video description down below, and check them out. They actually have some pretty neat stuff. Thank you again, and now on with the show.
Hey guys, it's Jan, also known as Zenbluster, and as some of you may already know, the Japan Cup event that we were supposed to attend was cancelled. Tamiya stopped the event due to the typhoon that went through September 30th at Japan. While that is a little bit disappointing, I prefer not to dwell too much on the past. I still enjoyed my vacation despite that, and I ended up buying a lot of kits. If you guys have been watching my Instagram, you'll see what I mean. And I'll be sharing that with you guys in the upcoming week, so at least we've got something going on. And I'm sorry that there isn't going to be a Japan Cup 2018 video, but there was honestly nothing I could do. The event was cancelled. So at least join me in my vacation and check out this video. I got lucky and a couple came in and they gave me the window seat for my travels. This is where we went to Joshin Super Kids Land. Quite a bit of Lego stuff, but their Lego stuff is more expensive than normal. This is the Takara Tomy stuff right here on the right side. They're very big in Japan. They do a lot of toys. And they also do the Tomica stuff too, which is coming up now. And as you can see, there's quite a bit at Joshin. There's some of the premium line up there in the black, and then the lower ones, the ones that are cheaper at the lower levels, are there. They don't really have the limited vintage stuff in this lower level, but they do have it upstairs. And there's some magic too, as you can see. Some of you may know it, but I do a little bit of, actually quite a bit of magic. And for some of you that complain about how expensive Tamiya Mini four-wheel drive is, let's just say that magic is much more expensive. And it's not for the faint of heart in terms of what you're spending and what you're spending it on. A piece of cardboard can cost up to many, many dollars. Over here is the display. You can see some of the cups and some of the what do you call it? That's a tie. It's a Tamiya tie, and that's a cross-branded Tamiya pen right there. Kind of funny how they do a lot of cross promotions with their brands and other stuff too. There's some more shirts. I ended up buying some shirts at the Plant Model Factory later on. And these are parts, just parts and parts. A lot of parts and kits that get reprinted quite a bit. And you can see there's a Trigale coming up right there. That's 1,000 yen over here at Joshin. And then you can see the Variatron right there as well. They're a lot cheaper in Japan. I'm not gonna lie about that. So I usually just come and buy stuff for myself now. Nothing too crazy. They still have a decent amount of polycarbonate stuff, and they had the new countersunk screws right there. I ended up buying a few over there, and luckily for them, they actually carry quite a bit of Tamiya stickers as well. You know, kind of fun if you want to swag up your stuff. And this is the Maruhan, what do you call it? Pachinko parlor. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut out so you could hear the sound of the pachinko parlor. We got split up, and we were looking for each other, and this is what it sounds like. You know where they are? So yeah, quite a bit of stuff, you know. Sorry it was loud, but yeah, that's how crazy it is over there. This is a day where John and I split up from the party. We ended up doing some exploring ourselves. We were gonna go do some more MTG shopping. This is the trains that are pretty much on time every time, and our train is coming up here on the left, as you can see. is me cracking open some packs.
800 yen for 3 packs.
Yep.
You don't get that in the States. It's English as well. So, let me see. There's Millstone. Gigantosaurus.
Yep.
5 mana for a 10/10. Let's see if Rudy's gonna take us to Pound Town.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's basically Reliquary. That's not bad. Double scheduled sort of Valoran. Oh, it's a night card. Man. Especially that Gigantosaurus. Alright. Let's slow roll this one a little bit.
Yep.
Dragon Egg, Colossal Majesty, Draconic Disciple, Amulet. Yep, all bulk.
Yep.
God damn it.
This is us on a couple of train rides now before we head out to Kyoto. We're about to visit the Inari Shrine, and this is us about to board the Shinkansen, and Shinkansen's actually pretty cool. We ended up buying the J-Rail pass that was about a week's worth of traveling. So you could take the JR lines and also use the Shinkansen quite often, and that was actually quite good value. We ended up spending $330 for that, but it was good value nonetheless. And this is the inside of the Shinkansen. It's actually way more comfortable than actually being on an airplane. My goodness, it's not even close. And let's check out what it looks like on the outside. Yep, that's how fast it gets when you're traveling on the Shinkansen. I don't remember how fast we were going at that time, but it was pretty cool. This is us on another train. In Japan, when you're traveling, you gotta take a lot of trains and you gotta do a lot of walking, so be prepared for that stuff. Now we just came upon the Inari Shrine from the outside, and that is what you call a gate, translated in English, tori in Japanese. Actually, tori is apparently a pun as well, to a mixture of two different words. Technically, you could use one for the other. Tori is technically a gate and also bird at the same time, so it's kind of a weird language and very, very difficult to understand. Now we're just walking up, and as you can see, it's some unusual stuff that they do. They cover their trees, roots, and like areas with like wood, stuff like that. I honestly didn't get like a proper explanation other than maybe it was for preventing erosion, and honestly I haven't seen any other country do this. This is the like a washing area, like a fountain where you could wash yourself, your hands and your mouth before you enter the shrine. Something that you use to cleanse, basically. I didn't do it because I didn't want to do it incorrectly. And this is a view from right at the second gate right here. It's quite far from the station. That looks pretty big, but from over here the station looks tiny. And there's a pretty cool that we actually had some girls that were walking around in their yukata, and a lot of people were taking photos of them, and they were quite popular as they were walking around. This is us going through the second gate. Quite a few people were there at the time. This is me showing that I have a quarter, and I'm giving it to the offering for prayer. And most people ask for stuff on prayers, but what you're actually supposed to do is to thank for the privilege that you're even able to do what you're set out to do. It's more of the view coming up here. This is the a shrine where you could actually do some more prayers and then offering. Coming up there, you'll see what I mean. This is there's I think some sort of priest that's in there praying right now, and I'm just laughing at this girl on the left. Doesn't know what she's on the right. She doesn't even know what she's doing, and Kevin, like, boom, you can see it's like quite funny, quite a pro at that stuff, and you can tell. Yeah, there's a lot of people that day, and there were even kids, and I was kind of surprised that they weren't in school because I think that was a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I don't even recall, but there's a priest in there praying, and then this is a 200 yen where you could write down your wishes, and then I ended up you could see win 2 rounds, but that was kind of useless now in hindsight. Wasted 200 yen for nothing because of the typhoon. And this is another gate basically up to the top. Quite a bit of stuff going up there. On the way up, you could see a lot of people doing some more prayers, basically wishes right there. I'm not sure how that works. The wood block that I wrote on earlier was to be burned for stuff like that, and you could tell quite a bit of foreigners were there. This is a group of girls that were in their yukata again, going up. I'm not sure how far up they went, but it was quite a trek, so I don't think they went up there with those weird clogs that they were wearing. And these are what they were called the senbontori, basically, and that means 1,000 gates. Basically, those are all gates, and those all lead up to the top of the mountain. And from what they say, the senbontori is basically each gate is a gate to another world, and walking through them kind of unlocks or grants you passage to another dimension or something like that. And this is me passing through those gates, as you can see. You can see me walking up these steps quite a bit, and it was tiring. I tried to get up to the peak, but it was tough for me, as you'll see later. A lot more walking, a lot of people taking selfies, and these letterings on the side are basically people that have sponsored building up the gates, basically. And some of them are not painted, or even older than some of the other ones. So those are sponsors for the gates, benefactors, basically. Please go right way. Which one is the right way? Just a joke on the English language. A lot more. This was quite a nice area. I remember feeling that the air was quite different as you went up here. This is funny how you could see some of the drawings on these masks. One of those is from what do you call it? My Hero Academia, and this is a wish station basically. If you lift that rock, if it's lighter than you think, your wish is granted. But if it's heavier than you thought, then your wish didn't come true. And this section is for basically the beginning of the climb to the top of the mountain, basically. This was quite difficult. This area path on the left was for a tree, which we're gonna see coming up next. And actually saw some Filipinos here on this left side right there. They were kind of funny watching them. And this is from what I've been explained to, is that it's a tree where the roots are above ground, and that is quite rare. So from what John explained to me, is that it's that being uncommon, like praying to it or asking it for help is basically good for economics, for yourself, for stocks, and that type of stuff. And what's funny is some of these paths go, as you can see, up and down, but you're still technically going up the mountain. This area we came upon is where there's a lot of restrooms, a decent amount of restrooms that you could use. It's like a rest area before you keep going. This is John walking up through some more of those gates. Maybe he's walking through and he's turning into his alternate self in the other dimensions. You never know. This area was actually, in my opinion, the best part, but I didn't actually get to see the peak. So this was interesting. This side section of the shrine, it felt very old. It was just hard to tell what was going on, but as you can see, there's a lot of moss, and the air felt different. It's hard to explain. But it was not like it wasn't scary. It felt, you know, peaceful, basically. As you can see the Inari, the two Inu dogs, the dog gods right there. And this path snaked upwards to the right and a little bit to the left. This left side goes back up to the main path, but John and I went further right, a little bit deeper, and this was quite a good, a pretty interesting area that we went up. A lot of smaller shrines. I'm not sure if they're lesser gods that were in these shrines, but they were actually quite interesting to come upon and go through. Yeah, it gets pretty steep the further you get up there. Yeah, this was a nice view, and the air was a lot cooler now over here. I'm not sure if we skipped anything too crazy, but I honestly thought that this was one of the best parts of the Inari Shrine trip that we did. There were a lot of couples that day, as you could see right here. And this was a lake, I think, or maybe like a small pond that was up on the side of the mountain. I thought that was very interesting that something like this would be up on the side of a mountain, basically. And it was quite interesting seeing this stuff. And this was a shrine, I think, a little bit halfway up the mountain. Actually, no, maybe halfway up the mountain, but you could see some candles and it looked really interesting. It was quite cool seeing this type of stuff still going on in Japan. A pretty cool shrine right here. And this is going further up. I was getting pretty tired over here. I have high blood pressure, so this was quite a trek for me to get up there. I did not make it all the way, maybe about 2/3 of the way up. Ended up like, this was basically me saying, all right, that's it for me. I'm not gonna go further up. I ended up splitting up with John. John made it all the way up to the top, and he had some pretty interesting experience. So he said that he met up with a couple, and then the couple ended up disappearing on him. And I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say that he's unusual, but yeah, that makes sense, honestly, on areas like these. And this is me going down the path. Honestly, it took me about 30 minutes to get up to where that, a little bit 2/3 of the way up. It took me about 5 minutes to get down, basically, because like maybe 5 to 10 minutes to get down, because it was fairly steep, and then basically I jogged on the way back down, and I don't know if I should have, but it was pretty quick. And this is another shrine that was off to the path. And I'm not sure what's here, but quite different. As you could see, you could cleanse yourself there on that fountain too. And yeah, you could see there was quite a crowd that day. It was in the middle of the week, but there were still quite a few people that were there. And I thought it was cool seeing everybody in Yukata. And this is us visiting a shopping arcade for fish, you know, like a fish market. And I probably should have filmed a little bit more of myself. Basically, I regret not filming myself eating too much. But yeah, this place was awesome. There was quite a lot of food that you could get from here. And I ended up eating maybe like 1,000 yens worth of like kind of street food, basically. And it was actually pretty cool. There you have it. Next part's going to be showing up soon. Thank you for watching.